Hey everybody, it is Elson932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me, and I thank you so much for leaving comments below. As I said, the comments are where I am getting all the feedback, and I posted on my community wall, what are some oldie but goodie movies from your childhood, from the past, that you just love that you'd like me to recap? So I got a great list. And I figured I will go back and forth for something I love, something suggested, and I'm going to just let an Excel spreadsheet choose at random what the next one is. But I had to start strong. I had to start with one of my favorites. One of my favorites that got the lines, got the clips. And I hope you will join me. So let's go. Like, share, subscribe, because we are going through Boomerang. Boomerang stars Eddie Murphy and a lot of iconic people as well. Now let me get the Boomerang cast list because it is wild. Cast: Boomerang stars Eddie Murphy as Marcus, Robin Givens as Jacqueline, Halle Berry as Angela, David Alan Grier as Gerard, Martin Lawrence as Tyler. Gerard and Tyler are Marcus's two best buds. Grace Jones is Strange. Ooh, icon. Jeffrey Holder is Nelson. Eartha Kitt is Lady Eloise. Okay. We have Tisha Campbell as Yvonne, the next door neighbor. Chris Rock is Boney T, the mailroom clerk. You'll hear me saying mailroom clerk. Layla Rashawn is Christy. She's the first lady we encounter with her dog. We have John Witherspoon as Mr. Jackson. Bebe Drake is Mrs. Jackson. The Jacksons are Gerard's parents. And we have so many other folks as well. I can go on and on and on. We even have Melvin Van Peebles making a cameo as an editor. It is star-studded. And what I love about Boomerang, even though it's star-studded, Boomerang is elevated. What I love about Boomerang is Boomerang starts off at a wonderful level. It is high level executives. Everybody's got a job. Everybody's dressed well. Everybody's doing well, looking well, look like they smell good too. It is just at a high standard. Very classy. Very, very classy. Everyone is. So we start off, this story is all about Marcus, who, is womanizing. He is just, how can I say, popular with the ladies, okay? And he uses his gift of gab to seduce the ladies. And sometimes he, has to do a lot, and sometimes he doesn't have to do anything. So we see Marcus walking into the office for the first time, and he is the man. Marcus is the man. Let's keep in mind, this is a black-owned, black-run, everybody in the office is black. Everybody. And Marcus is walking through. Everybody's talking to him. Hey, Marcus. Hey, how you doing? Hey. The woman feels seen. He's suave. Did you get what I sent you? Everyone is awesome. They are black. They are sophisticated. They're awesome. So he passes by the office where his friend Tyler, played by Martin Lawrence, as I mentioned, and Gerard, played by David Alan Grier. Marcus is juggling many women, okay, including his job at the marketing executive level. So he has lunch with the fellas, and women approach him. Women just approach Marcus. Hey, how you doing? I'm from Holland. The lady ignores his friends. She completely ignores them. And they're like, that don't happen to anybody but Marcus. So Marcus is Mr. Romance. When he meets a woman, he says, and then when he hits it, he loses interest. So Marcus is Mr. Chaser. Tyler sees everything as racial. Everything has got a connotation of race in it. The waitress came, and because she said asparagus spears instead of asparagus tips, it's because they're black. Gerard is a sensitive, romantic type. He's highly sensitive. He's like, hey, Tyler, you've got to learn to love yourself. That way you're not ticked off by other people. Tyler's like, whatever. So Marcus, while they're talking, sees a beautiful woman outside. And he just rushes out. She is in a tan and brown and cream outfit. Beautiful. Looking absolutely amazing. And as I said before, this lady is played by Lila Roshan. And she has a beautiful dog of the same color tone in the fur. And she is just walking by looking fabulous. And he runs to a couple, says, I'll give you $20 for that dog leash. And he pretends that his dog Kirby is lost. He's yelling out Kirby's name. And she stops to ask him about his dog because clearly she loves her dog. Because if she is matching her clothes to the dog's coat, you know she loves her dog. So he says, hey, if you come around here often, could you just take my number, and let me know if you see my dog? She said, hey, I won't be able to sleep unless I know you can find your dog. So here's my number. So Marcus is happy. He's got somebody new to chase. So the neighbor is yelling across the way because, the dog lady comes by to say, hey, I believe I've, mixed up her name. Her name is Christine. She comes by to have dinner with Marcus and she's like, oh my God, where's Kirby? Where's Kirby? He said, yeah, Kirby, got some dirt on his coat and he's at the groomers. This is late at night, lady. And you don't even notice there's no dog bowl, no dog food, no dog bed, no dog, nothing, no dog toys. Nothing says a dog lives in this place. She wasn't even looking. I'm telling you, I swear she wasn't even looking. So his neighbor is yelling out through dinner to warn this lady, hey, don't trust Marcus. Marcus gonna play you. So he ends the evening early. He tells the lady, hey, his heart got broken on his wedding day and he's not sure he's ready for love. So he's using tricks. Marcus is using tricks on this lady. So after the sob story of being cheated on his wedding day, he said he's not ready, to have a relationship or sleep with someone. So he should take her home. And he's trying to be a gentleman. He's at the door and she drags him inside. Okay. So after sleeping together, okay, he has to check her feet. He drags the blanket so he can check out her feet. And I have that clip for you. This is where the phrase hammer time toes come in. He's all about the toes. The woman's got to have beautiful feet. And her toes are not cute. Okay? And he snuck out of the bed and went home. Now, Marcus, you didn't have to do all this. You could just have her take off her heels at the door of your home. Then you could have checked her feet. But then again, that would negate the whole show and the whole premise. So I guess he had to check the feet after he checked everywhere else. Okay? His boys say he's too picky. He's too picky about the feet. And, on his way into the office, the male clerk, played by Chris Rock, asked about the upcoming merger with Lady Eloise Cosmetics. He says, hey, I've been here 9 to 10 days, on time most days, even rainy ones. So it's time for his promotion. So Marcus goes in and he realizes he's told Lady Eloise is waiting for him. Lady Eloise is played by the icon Eartha Kitt. So he flirts with Lady Eloise and he gets an invitation to her residence at Lavender Hill. Okay? She tells her driver, make sure Mr. Graham gets to Lavender Hill. I'll insert a clip of their interaction here.
I've always heard you were very beguiling to women. But my schedule is also very tight. Meet me at my house tonight.
At her residence, the butler greets him, and Lady Eloise has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. So the butler announces her, Marcus, Lady Eloise, and she just comes in. I mean, star-studded walk in. Under a magnificent chandelier, and the butler leaves and he's chuckling looking at Marcus because he knows what's up. So they have a magnificent spread at the dining room. I tell you, this is, very much Upper East Side wealth of New York City. They have a magnificent table under the chandelier. The butler is serving, and they're both flirting. And he said, "Hey, I don't want to toot my own horn because I should be the head of all of marketing because I'm just great." And she's like, "Don't toot your own horn. Let somebody toot it for you." And she is, how can I say, playing with a piece of asparagus around her mouth. So the line, "Marcus, darling," I'm going to insert the clip here.
Marcus, darling.
He gets into bed with her, and she claps to turn the lights out because he's like, "Yeah, it's a little bright in here." And when the lights go out, he's like, "Yeah, it needs to get a little bit darker." I was dying. It's like, dude, there ain't no darker. You know what you're doing. Lady Eloise is old enough to be your grandmother. You said your grandmother used her products. So you're about to lay down with grandma. Okay. Or a woman old enough to be your grandma. So the next day, he sees this beautiful woman in the office lobby. He flirts with her. They go in the elevator. She shuts him down. She says his lines are pathetic. And he's like, "Wait a minute." She's like, "How did these lines work on other women?" Then they realize they're both going on the marketing floor. And he's like, "Yeah, let me let you know something. I'm going to take over all of marketing." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't think so." Okay? So when she realizes who he is, Marcus Graham, she changes her tune because she's heard of him. He's like, "Oh, you thought I was a nobody. Now you know I'm a somebody. Now you're going to change your tune." So he tells her he'll be in charge. She's like, no. She is there to run all of marketing. He was told by Lady Eloise herself that he had the job. And Jacqueline says she has no power. Lady Eloise is just a face on the package. She's the name on the package. She has no power. And then Lady Eloise meets them in the lobby or in the hallway for this scene.
You should see the way she just, she throws herself at young, handsome, virile men.
Are you trying to imply that I hit it? Oh, no, I see what you're
Marcus, darling.
Hey, how you doing, Lady Eloise?
I don't have any panties on.
At the gala to welcome the new face of the company for the next, how can I say, phase, generation, he's there with his friends. And the friends tell him, "Quit. Don't take a lesser job, a lower office, quit." Until they see Jacqueline. Remember, Jacqueline is played by Robin Givens. And her best friend, Angela, is played by Halle Berry. Then the friends change it to like, "Psych! No, you got to stay. You got to get with her." So Jacqueline also introduces Angela while he introduces his friends. Then they introduce Strange. Strange is played by the icon Grace Jones. A crate is lowered with a helicopter. A carriage pops out, and there are muscle men pulling the carriage through the gala. I have to say, Caucasian muscle men. Everybody in the gala is black, blackety black. But this carriage, this is the first time since I've seen it that I'm noticing things. So I'm watching this as an adult like, these white men are pulling, and she is cracking the whip behind them to get them to move faster. Wow. Okay. So Strange is greeted warmly by Jacqueline, who says she's magnifique. And Marcus is walking around the gala, eventually looking lost. Okay? He's looking for Jacqueline. So here's where I am going to be controversial. Unpopular opinion. Angela been setting up for Marcus from the beginning. Angela's a villain. I believe Angela been setting up from the very beginning to be with Marcus. Because when Angela asked him, you look lost. Can I help you? He's like, no, I'm not lost. She's like, yeah, you're looking for Angela. He's like, why? She's like, you're interested in her, right? Most men are. She sounded like a hater. Angela sounded like a hater. Most men are. You trying to tell Marcus that Jacqueline has a reputation? I see you, Angela. I see you. So Marcus notices Jacqueline going up the escalator, And, he goes behind her to talk business, but he pulls Gerard to go talk to Angela. Angela ain't feeling it. So he said he came up to talk. He told Jacqueline he came up to talk to her and give her his best Mac Daddy and talk about getting with her. And she says, not happening.
I don't date men I work with.
Well, then I quit.
You can't quit because I need you.
So the next day, the mail clerk asked him how long before he gets with the new executress. And I was like, I heard executive. It's very different when you watch these things when you're an adult. But, the mail clerk, who played by Chris Rock, says, hey, we got a betting pool here. We got a betting pool going, and I'm trying to win. So there's a meeting with the perfume scientists for a new fragrance. But Strange don't like none of them. None of the fragrances. And the scientist, Lloyd, says this fragrance tested well. It is the essence of sex. So Strange says, yeah, you would think so, but let me show you what the essence is. The essence is. So this is what Strange does.
This is the essence of sex. Voila.
Lloyd leaves, but Marcus catches him in the hallway and convinces him to come back to work. And Marcus charms him. So Marcus has charm for not only women, but men. He's like, let's get the job done. So in the meeting, Strange has names for the fragrances. No one likes suggestions. And Jacqueline has to come up and try to tell her, like, yo, these are not going to work. Not going to work. So Marcus goes up, and talks about, the name, what it needs to symbolize, and says, wait a minute, your name does all that. We shall name the fragrance Strange. Everybody's clapping. Strange likes it, loves it, and she leaves. Everybody's happy. So Angela tells Marcus, she has a date with Gerard. And is this to make sure that he knows somebody is interested in her? Because this is kind of, why are you telling him? Yeah, I got a date with Gerard. Because sometimes some people believe if they know other people are interested, they will find you desirable. Pin in it. He invites Jacqueline over to his house for dinner to talk about workload, and she's skeptical. She's like, really, about work? It sounds like you're making the moves. He's like, no, just work. So when she arrives, Marcus doesn't answer the door till she rings the bell 3 times and was about to leave. And then he pretends he was half asleep. She goes to talk to his neighbor, played by Tashina Arnold. And the neighbor, is telling her that, hey, Marcus is going to play you. He's a dog, D-A-W-G. And Marcus is horrified. So Marcus is talking about how he makes his food at dinner, how he uses, I think it was fresh rosemary on his chicken. And Jacqueline said all she want to do is watch the Knicks game in front of the TV. So his moves are not working, and he is frustrated and not happy. Meanwhile, during this, Gerard goes over to Angela's house, and they are so awkward. They can't even decide what to eat, what to pull up from the menu. And, they part for the night still hungry. They end up pecking on the lips, but that's about it. Ain't nothing going on there. See, I think Angela biding her time for Marcus. I'm telling you. The fellas meet at the gym, and it's been 3 weeks, and Marcus still has not slapped skins with Jacqueline. And they think she may not like gentlemen. And he's like, no, that ain't it. It's just going to take a longer time. So they talk about each other's dating life and lack of it. So Marcus flies to New Orleans with Angela. And she's talking about how New Orleans is so romantic and how he will enjoy it with Jacqueline. She's fishing for information. She's fishing for information if they have slapped skins together yet or not. Angela's like, I think you're cool and I like you. First time she tells Marcus flat out, I like you. You're cool and I likes you. Watch out, Marcus. Watch out. Y'all, I'm now peeping this as an adult watching this. Angela been biding her time for Marcus. I'm telling you. So Jacqueline and Marcus go out dancing in New Orleans, and they are frisky on the dance floor. She's upset, and she said, let's leave for the hotel. But you think she's upset. but she actually wants to go back to the hotel to finally lay with him. Okay? Marcus thinks she's mad, but he gets called to her room where they bang. Okay? They bang. That's the only time we actually see Marcus's skills. So he checks her feet and is happy to see her feet are beautiful. Happy. He's just so happy. So he gets back home, he goes shopping with the fellas, and the store clerk is following them in the men's store. Following them all the way around. Marcus thinks Jacqueline could be the next Mrs. Graham. Or the Mrs. Graham. So the store clerk, they have a wonderful interaction with the store clerk, and I'm going to insert the clip here.
Yo, I'm getting this, Marcus. Step off.
That jacket is $1,800. No refunds.
What, you think I can't pay for it?
Well, there is no layaway plan.
Hey, we're okay, we don't need any help.
We don't keep cash in the store.
Angela and Jacqueline meet about art for the campaign, and Angela asks about Marcus's reputation. Angela, you fishing again? I see you, Angela. You fishing. Angela, you asking about Marcus and if he has prowess in the boudoir. I'm clocking you, Angela. Jacqueline says she can confirm his reputation is well earned. And Angela's like, not giggling. She's like, you can confirm? She looks shocked but not pleased. So Marcus walks in and interrupts the conversation, but he thinks they're talking about Gerard. He thinks that. Angela says Gerard couldn't hit it even if he had a bat. Y'all, she is telling Marcus she has not slept with Gerard. She is laying the foundation to be desirable to Marcus. Like, hey, you ain't gonna be interrupting bro code because I ain't with you, bro. So he's starting to kiss all over Jacqueline in the office. She's like, not in the office. New Orleans was New Orleans, not in the office. So Jacqueline's like, you're not getting serious on me, are you? We gonna leave New Orleans in New Orleans. He's like, he's not pressing or doing a proposal. I'm like, you were talking to your boys that she could be the next Mrs. Graham. And her schedule apparently is too busy to see him. Okay? She won't see him again. And, she will see him again, but she'll have to get back to him. Says her secretary's out because they want some office pool. And I'm like, is that the same office pool about them sleeping together? Is that the same office pool? Because it's right after they come back from New Orleans. I wonder how large that office pool was that now they go on vacation for a week. So Marcus is sitting by the phone waiting for her to call him, to pencil him in. And when the secretary calls, the offer is the 12th, which is 3 weeks later. He is pissed. But he reluctantly takes that date. Marcus is like, I'll take what I can get. So Marcus has been flipped on him. Marcus is now the one waiting by the phone, hoping the girl calls, and waiting for some kind of crumbs. So Marcus is seen, outside an all-star benefit concert by himself. Jacqueline doesn't show up. The concert done started. He goes home. He checks her flight. The flight done landed long time ago. He calls 911, and then she shows up at the door. She took a later flight, and she is in a trench coat. He said he wasted $200 on tickets for a concert, and he is fussing, and she gives him a single rose. He's like, that's my move. That's my move. It was one of his tricks, and he recognizes it. So she's like, hey, I can leave. But he stops her. He said, hey, I'm getting emotional. And she's like, it sounds like you forgive me. And she opens the trench coat to show she's in lingerie. Yeah, Marcus wasn't letting her leave after that. Now, that trench coat thing, diabolical. Never done that. Now, I've had a dress that zips all the way down, but never in nothing under trench coat. It's wild. She's in New York. Girl, you wild. So they do slap skins. And she has him calling out her name. So Marcus is whipped. So he wakes up to her getting dressed. She's heading home. She's like, yeah, thanks for the stress relief. He's like, what? Wait a minute. She's like, I'll call you tomorrow. And he's just like, oh my gosh, what the hell's going on? And he looks at the nightstand, and she left $200 on the nightstand. And he feels cheap, and so he holds his blanket up to cover himself. Now he's feeling modest. You did tell her you wasted $200 on tickets. You shouldn't have said nothing. She thinks that's what you're upset about. So they go out to dinner with Strange, and Jacqueline leaves to make a phone call. Strange asks, when does she get to ride the Marcus train? Okay? Strange is like, when is my turn to slap skins with you? According to Jacqueline, you know how to work your badunkus. I was like, girl. So she tries to touch him and get all frisky with him at the restaurant table. And Marcus is offended. And Strange causes a scene in the restaurant. A scene so much so I cannot put those clips, her words to. Oh my gosh. She says no one could turn down her kitty. And she does not say that word. She says the full-on word several times. So Jacqueline asks, what did you do to her? After Strange storms out. He's like, he did not, expect her to be talking about his prowess to other people. And do not expect him to sleep around for business reasons. And Jacqueline is like, you did it with Lady Eloise. He's like, But she was right. You did do it with Lady Eloise. He said, that's a rumor. Strange is in a limo, and she doesn't want to go on the plane for the photo shoot. She's mad, and Jacqueline said, I will sue you. And because Marcus feels dirty about what happened, and from the $200 to Strange, he's like, yeah, maybe you should do your own thing. And she's like, okay, it's over. And she goes and hails a cab. We know it's a movie because even though she is dressed to the nines, she put her hand out for a cab and one stopped. We know that didn't happen in New York. Especially that back in the day. The next morning, Marcus is moping, walking through the hallways. His head is down. The mail clerk is like, I can't believe you let her dog you out like that. Where's your pride? Where's your dignity? I have to say that is one of my favorite lines of Chris Rock in it. So this time, the women are gathered around Jacqueline, whispering about him, giggling, and they they shush her when they see him coming. And then they say, good morning, Marcus. And he's looking at them suspiciously, saying good morning. And they are holding the laughter in. And as soon as he turns his back, they burst out laughing. So he knows they're talking about him. So because he's mad at Jacqueline, he tells the art director, Nelson, to film whatever he wants for the Strange commercial. Okay? Angela's shocked. Angela goes to Jacqueline and tells her, hey, take it easy on Marcus, because whatever you're doing to him is affecting his work. Jacqueline takes offense. She's like, wait a minute, what I'm doing to him? Whatever I'm doing to him, you're taking it rather personally. Angela denies it. It's all about work. But Jacqueline and I don't believe her. We don't believe her. Angela was looking out for her man. I'm sorry, y'all. Again, Angela's the villain in this. Angela been biding her time. Biding her time. So they see the commercial from the creative team that Nelson was leading. It was a disaster. It was a complete disaster. Nelson has Strange giving birth to this fragrance. I mean, like, wild giving birth. It is crude. It is crass. Nobody likes it. Jacqueline has Marcus meet in her office. Remember, that used to be his office. And Jacqueline said, yeah, the board wanted to let you go because of this. And Marcus says, he says, as an employee, I thank you for saving my job. As your lover, I thank you for ruining my life. She's like, I didn't ruin your life, you did. So take a few weeks off. And he's pouty leaving the office. So Angela takes him to the after-school art program that she does, she does after-school art classes. And he says, Cupid has his foot up my butt. Angela says, I have a cure for Cupid. Again, Angela is claiming this man. I will cure you of that affliction because you're supposed to be with me. That's what I heard. They have a good time teaching the class, teaching the kids. The two kids we see featured, they do go on to have, great acting careers. Angela gets an idea for the commercial. They go to work in the office. Okay? Then we have Thanksgiving at Marcus's apartment. Angela is there, his two friends are there, and then Gerard's parents. Angela tells Marcus she is not nervous meeting Gerard's parents, because she and Gerard are just friends, and she doesn't want his parents thinking they're a couple. She doesn't want Marcus thinking that either. Angela, you ain't fooling me. You are giving the message like I don't want them thinking we're a couple, but it's really you, Marcus, I don't want thinking we're a couple. So Gerard and his parents arrive. The mom asks, says that Angela looks like one of Marcus's girls. Ooh! And Gerard's father shows Marcus his outfit to be fashion forward. You gotta coordinate.
The secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. So you got to coordinate. Yes, that's what you.
Gerard is irritated by his parents' antics, and Mrs. Jackson reminds the dad that he didn't marry her for her cooking. And the dad said, yeah, that's why we got Junior over there. Bang, bang, bang! So they all, get to know that Angela made the meal. And, Gerard and Angela remind the parents that they are just friends. Dad said he heard that Marcus has been kitty whipped. Okay? And he said, you got to reverse it. You got to whip that kitty. Y'all, he doesn't say kitty. I got to say that for the YouTube algorithm, y'all. Gerard tells Marcus his parents are hitting it in the bathroom. When Daddy was saying bang, bang, bang at the dinner table, it was prelude them getting it on in the bathroom. Marcus ain't believe Gerard. He's like, no, man. Dad walks out breathing hard, putting on the jacket in the wrong way. Mama's hat is twisted. The buttons on her coat all buttoned wrong. Marcus finally believes it. Everybody leaves, but Angela stays to help clean up. They're tired after cleaning up the whole kitchen, and they sit down to watch Star Trek. Apparently, they both like it. And they start kissing. Marcus says, we're not supposed to be kissing because we're friends. Angela says, friends can kiss. You weren't telling Gerard that, Angela. You weren't telling Gerard that. Friends can kiss, huh? Yeah, you were keeping Gerard at arm's length. You want this friend, Marcus, darling, to be the one kissing you. You don't fool me, Angela. So they do sleep together. The next day, they showcase the new commercial to Jacqueline. Angela and Marcus do. And they are noticeably real cutesy with each other and flirty with each other. And Marcus is like, hey, you, to Angela. And Jacqueline noticed that they're so chummy. Marcus, then goes to play pool with the fellas and asks Gerard how are things with Angela. What? You gonna ask him now? After you done slept with her? Gerard says, Angela was getting too clingy for him. Lies, Gerard, lies. So Marcus asks, is it okay if Angela, sees other men? Just curious. Gerard ain't buying it. But Marcus does admit that he did sleep with Angela. Gerard's mad because Marcus will dog Angela out like he does everyone else, and Angela is a nice girl. Gerard is mad and he leaves, and Tyler asks Marcus, what'd you do? Because, Tyler knows his friend. Angela, it seems like she's moved in the next scene, and she gets Marcus out of the shower to look at her painting. But Jacqueline calls. They're at Marcus's apartment. Angela answers, hands him the phone, and Marcus downplays the relationship and says, oh, she just stopped by. So it's Friday night. Jacqueline wants Marcus to come by because the board is here to talk about the new commercial. Angela's a little cold now towards Marcus. He's like, hey, I don't have to go. I can cancel. She's like, go ahead, do what you got to do. The board is very happy with the commercial. Jacqueline hugs him. She says, oh, the old Marcus is back. You were seeming desperate and unsure before. And she likes this Marcus that's back. And the next thing we see, Marcus is sneaking into the bed late. But we also see that Angela ain't sleeping. The next morning, he is moping. And, Angela says hi, but she stays silent at first. And she's like, how did it go? He's like, okay. She's like, just okay? He didn't come home till late. He said he went for a walk. Did you walk into Jacqueline's apartment? Is that where the walk was? He said he saw Jacqueline and all these feelings came back, and you can't control feelings. You can't control love. And Angela does not believe him. Angela tells him exactly what's on her mind. And it's also the title of Toni Braxton's song for the soundtrack to this.
What do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love? I'm sick and tired of men using love like it's some kind of disease you just catch. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
Angela leaves, says she's heartbroken. The neighbor tries to comfort him. But because he wouldn't go over to her house for coffee, he said not even if Jesus was pouring. You know how bad you gotta be? Somebody said, I won't come to your house even if Jesus is pouring? That is wild. It's like, I don't care who's pouring. It could be the second coming of Christ. I ain't stepping in there. So Marcus, it turns out, is sleeping with Jacqueline again. But he's no longer feeling it. He just in the middle of it says, hey, I gotta go. And he's in love with Angela. Just realizing it. And she's like, well, if you're in love with Angela, why are you here? And he's like, exactly. So he gets up and leaves. And she is stunned. She is stunned because I'm sure she didn't expect him to just leave. So Tyler decides to invite his boys over so we can get the gang back together. We need to get the folks back together. And invite him over for a meal. He's frying chicken. Man, Tyler done shake the chicken up in a brown bag and fell on the floor and he's still put in the fryer. I'm like, Tyler believe in that 3-second rule. Gerard comes in. He sees Marcus. He goes upstairs to the rooftop. So they talk. Marcus finds out that Angela got a promotion to marketing director with a whole other company, art director. Since Tyler missed their whole makeup they made up, they were cool, they were better. You know, Tyler missed it, and he thinks that they still mad at each other. But he lets, he's like, hey, we gotta all hug and make it better. Come together with me here. So the fellas are back together. So while Marcus is walking down the street, he sees, Angela's art on a bus passing by. Then we see Angela in her office, her new executive suite, and she's telling her staff how bad their work is. Ain't nobody got the work right. See that email I sent you? Refer to it. No, this is all wrong. We ain't gonna do it till it's right. She is hard-nosed. She's not the gentle Angela we saw in the beginning. So 2 of her after-school kids are walking the halls looking for her. We find out from them it's been 4 months and 2 weeks that she has not seen them. So it could be even longer that she hasn't even seen Marcus. So they do say that their new art teacher brought them. And in walks Marcus. And she says, hey, it's low for you to use the kids. He's like, hey, I've been trying to contact you, sending you letters, and you haven't answered. He misses her, and he's never missed anyone else in his life. I guess anyone else in his dating life. He said he's ready to be all she needs and wants in a relationship. He even quit his job. And she's like, I didn't ask you to do all that. And he does ask, why is she cold and stiff? So you see, this loss of love caused her to be the cold and stiff one, and now he's the more sensitive one. So she asked one reason she should take him back. And all we hear is silence. Silence. And she agrees. She's like, I didn't think you had it. He's like, do you still love me? Because I love you so much and I miss you. But she does admit she's scared. They do kiss and reconcile. And I'm like, girl, see, this is why I think you were really after him all along. That was no kind of apology. That was none. He just said, I love you and I miss you. There could have been game playing. Girl, you were clocking for Marcus. You were clocking for him this whole time. So they're walking together. This is the ending of the movie. She's refusing to move in with him. And she threatens him. If he looks at that woman that is walking towards them, staring him down, she will hurt him. It's like, dang, girl, what a way to end the movie. He's like, yeah, but I was looking at the other woman with the 2 kids. He's like, that will be you in 15 years, and careful, you may be alone like her. And they're both laughing going down the street. And that's the end of the movie. I love Boomerang. As you see, I'm inserting clips that YouTube will sanction or will permit. But it is just a staple of my growing up. Boomerang, the soundtrack. If you have a chance also, the soundtrack you can listen to cover to cover. Watch the movie, you'll clock all of the songs, and the soundtrack will take you back to that time. Everybody who was anybody back then, the beginning of Toni Braxton, the introduction of Toni Braxton by Babyface. You have Reversal of a Dog, you have TLC on there, you have Johnny Gill, you have Boyz II Men, PM Dawn. You have tons of people on that soundtrack, and it fits with the movie. I thank you so much. This is my first recap review of a favorite movie, and I'll see what the next one will bring, and we'll see if we can't get all the suggestions done, I guess, this year. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.